In a world that's rushing, we slow it down, finding light where shadows surround. Heart to heart, where the truth is told. We rise together, stories unfold. The gold is within. If you don't go within, you go without. Every voice, every heart, it's what we're about. Together we rise, hand in hand, soul to soul. Warm, safe and loving, making each other.
Hello,
Hey.
everybody.
Hi.
Welcome. We are the mother-daughter dynamic duo,
We sure are.
and we are so excited with our Enlightened series with our people that are coming up. the
And
ladies.
who are you?
I am Coach Alisha Schwartz,
And I am Coach Rochelle Schwartz.
and boy, oh boy,
Got
did
a great
we
topic,
have
huh?
a great topic,
We really do.
emotional inheritance.
God.
Woo! And what does that actually
What are
mean?
the emotions, that
So-
we weren't allowed to express or even know we had, They were so buried down within us.
Mm.
But I do remember that, and it was rare. So when my sisters and I would get together and my father, we would laugh, and my father would get so crazy
Just because you
because we laughed. So we weren't allowed to laugh.
nuts.
And of course, today I can't stop laughing. And not to verbally talk. We weren't allowed to talk, like
Nobody
everything
can
was quiet and
Mm.
silence.
Mm. So you grew up in like a very, like you could
It was
tiptoe.
it was
What
tiptoeing.
is it? Walking on eggshells.
Yeah, oh yeah. And it was dark.
Mm.
I never had friends come up to the house. So yeah, there was a lot going on at that time. And
You never had your friends come up because
never.
you were
ever,
embarrassed.
ever. I was very embarrassed. Yes, I was
I
very
can understand
embarrassed.
that for sure.
So I would
Get
go
that.
out. But then again, the times were different. You played outside. So it wasn't as apparent as it would be today, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, we had some very interesting things happen to us as children. I'm very blessed to have worked.
So would you say what was the emotion that was not allowed? Besides, you said you really didn't speak about emotions. So
No.
no emotions were allowed.
No,
That's what you grew up.
no. And it was always in silence. I was always, I was always kept to myself because I was afraid to speak.
So how did that affect your relationships in life and today?
Oh, they were just wonderful.
Well, can you give us a little more
They
about
just
that?
showed me, well, married to your father. There was a definite pattern there.
And what was the
and
pattern? So everybody can.
He was a rageaholic. My
okay.
father was not.
So he was
So-
what did we call that? The passive aggressive.
Yeah, very much so. Walking on eggshells, all of that.
So in relationships,
Mhm.
how did it affect you because of that?
It brings up the thought that when I was not around your father, people would always say, you're so different when you're not with your husband.
Mm.
And of course, I did know it, but I didn't know it. I couldn't figure it out. So, and that was, of course, I learned to express my feelings through all of this. And thank God I did, because you carry it within yourself. Whatever the emotion is, lies dormant within you. So what do you think about this?
Well, with you, I could express, emotion because
Right.
you were doing work already.
Right, yes.
But as you already know, my papa, he was a rageaholic and a nut. So it's interesting. He never was emotional
No,
because he obviously
Had his thing.
he had his thing with his parents.
right.
So for me growing up, I felt very alone in my emotions. I didn't feel like I could like I could say it with you, but you were involved in your own thing.
Mhm.
So it was hard to really, so I felt alone
Mm.
a lot in
Yeah.
my own feelings.
Yeah.
So in a way, you know, I understand that today, because of that, I'm able to really dive deep into my emotion, understand my emotion, because basically I was alone in it.
Mhm.
So you really learn how to become resilient,
Yes, you do.
self-reliant, and very, very independent,
Yeah.
which are the positive things about being alone
Right.
and not having anyone else to reflect with
Mhm.
or to. You were there, but again,
I
I knew
going
it
through
was
so
safe
much.
to share my feelings with you,
Right.
but you were going through so
Oh.
much at this in those
Yeah.
times that it was very hard to I don't want to say connect, but you were just involved in your own thing.
Mhm.
So I didn't
Mhm.
want to give you more than you could already handle. Right?
Very kind of you.
It was very kind.
But
Very,
you know,
and I think that affected me in relationships.
Okay.
I'll tell you how. Is I was always the one that was strong in
Yeah.
every relationship. So no one thought that I
You
needed
needed
help when in fact I did.
Mhm.
And so it kept me very isolated.
Mhm.
It kept me very, very alone.
Mhm.
And the caveat also helped me become more independent, self-reliant. So I have learned now, with all of this and continuing to open up, that it is okay to ask for help.
Right.
It is okay to share whatever you're feeling. Some people it's easier than others because there's just a space to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I tend to
And those are the
pick
people.
people that obviously
Right,
feel safe to do
exactly.
it with.
And the other,
So
the
yeah.
other
And
thing
then we're
is,
gonna go to
you know that you have worked through so many issues, and then there's something that happens.
and we'll share more
And
about
we'll
that.
share more with that. We're going to leave that hanging.
We're going to leave it on the fruit vine.
Yes.
And we'll be back in a moment. We're going to go to a commercial break. We are back. Hello, ladies.
How
Good
are
afternoon.
you all?
Good
Doing
afternoon.
great.
So this topic is a juicy one, and we can't wait to dive in with you,
Yeah.
ladies, to see how this is a part of your world and what was like that in your neck of the woods. But just really briefly, just share really quickly who you are so everybody knows that, and then we'll talk about
The
our
question.
amazing topic, emotional
Yes.
inheritance. So who would like to go first?
I'll go quiet. I'm Judy Romanoff, better known professionally as Coach Judy. I'm a recognized expert on divorce and single parenting. I founded the National Single Parent Resource Center, and I have expanded my scope into really addressing human behavior, how your thoughts, how you think, and turning all those negatives from our experiences into positive thoughts and actions so that you can achieve success and have that positive energy radiating out, because that's what people are drawn to.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Judy.
Awesome, Judy.
Thank you.
And I'm Coach Lysa Beltz, and I am a personal empowerment coach, an inner healer, I have my own podcast on Diamond Factor Network called The Unshakable Uplift. And I really work with women who are struggling to really own their identity. And for me, it really goes back to embracing who you are, not just tolerating who you are. And that includes digging into your emotions and unlocking some of those emotions from the past. So today's topic is really of interest to me. So thank you for having me on today.
Oh, thank you.
So would you like to share with us what that
yeah.
was for you?
Yeah, I would. And it's interesting because I teach about generational strengths and generational weaknesses. And so, we grew up in whatever culture our home fostered. And, that came from your mom's background, your dad's background. But then if you go back, to even a couple more generations, that just cascades down. And so it's so interesting because as I really contemplated this topic, ladies, it's like, I can't come up with a single emotion that wasn't allowed. But what I do want to explore is the fact that even things that are allowed have a positive and a negative side to them.
Mhm.
And so one of the lessons or kind of unspoken morals in our home was work hard, don't quit, keep going. And that is a really great attribute to have. But
Mhm.
there's a downside to it. And that downside is that, perseverance beyond what is reasonable leads to burnout. And so
Mhm.
I've gone through burnout recovery for the last year. And so it's learning as an adult to ask better questions. And so it's not like, can I keep going? It's
Mm.
more, should I keep going?
Yeah.
So let me kind of throw that out there for a minute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to stop everything and just not do anything? And
I didn't have a choice, Rochelle. My body shut down and just said, no, we're not doing anymore. And
God,
I kind of joke about it, but it's really not a joking matter. It's like I went probably 18 months on sheer willpower and muscle memory. There was no reserves left in my tank. Um, the brain fog, the inability to think through things, the inability to follow through, all of those things. And I had no clue that I was in burnout.
Yeah.
I just, I knew I was doing a lot, but I seemed to be keeping most of the plates spinning in the air until they weren't.
Yeah.
And I got laid off from my corporate job, and my body just went, you're giving us a break, we're going to take it. And there was no choice.
Mm.
yeah, and sometimes
Yeah.
that has to happen.
Yeah. For us to wake up
Yeah.
and see what we've been doing to ourselves and what that even means and what it looks like. But it makes sense because you grew up in that kind of environment where just push through, keep going.
Yes.
Unconsciously,
Yes.
you were creating
Yeah.
it just as you learned.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, so it's like I said before, it's not that wasn't allowed, but there wasn't the balance. There weren't boundaries around it.
Right.
I looked at my mom. My mom is still one of my heroes to this day, even though she's passed on. But it's like I didn't ever see her stop.
Mm.
Kept going.
Yep. Yep. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I'm sure people that are listening
Would
will relate to
yeah.
that big time. And we're
Yeah.
bringing light to
Yeah.
this, emotional inheritance because that's what
Yes.
you inherited unconsciously. You thought, and that's not a bad thing. There's a caveat.
Right.
It's a light and dark of it,
It is. It's that shadow side of it that
Yeah.
we don't always recognize.
Yeah.
That's interesting you should say that because I know looking back and thinking about the topic in my family, it was like my mother was able to stay home, do what she wanted to do as I knew her. And my father, of course, was out working very hard and going and doing what he needed to do. And then it was like that image of when you go out, you don't show problems from home. So it's like, and also my father being an overachiever and achieving greatness, it was like, how did that impact me? And I find by building an unexpected career, I am carrying those type of I'd say behaviors or actions that my father had, and yet my mother had it in a different way in the way she maintained the home. There was like structure and perfect, and being like, okay, what is perfect? And if you deviate, what are the consequences that you do? But you're then pushed aside if you're not being who they want you to be. Well, then
Yeah.
you're kind of pushed to the side, and their anger comes into play.
Yeah, and I guess I want to say to both of you, and each you can answer, is that how did that affect your relationships? You know, back then and today, you know, how did that affect you first, Lysa, and then you, Judy? You can share that after.
Well, I can say as a child, I was coddled by my mother. My father was more structured from that standpoint and not into the emotions and actions of things. So I can see why I am the way I am, and of my past and who I am today is how I look at the difference of the impact it's had on me. Because when you've been coddled most of your life into your adulthood by your family, and then all of a sudden the family is gone because you did something that they disagreed, it was one of those things that you just don't do, but had no choice. And it was like isolation. You were no longer accepted. You were not a member of the family because you didn't follow those mores of the family.
And so, again, just with what you're saying is very powerful. How does that affect your relationships today?
It's hard for me to say because I'm so outspoken. I've made a 180-degree change. I used to be a very quiet, very insecure type of person. I'm totally the opposite of that today because I was forced to be on my own and to battle when I didn't know anything. And that's where I really created and found my inner strengths that were dying to come out but didn't know it.
Right. Yeah. Great.
It's good.
Yeah.
And for me, Alisha, it's like you mentioned being the strong one. And I think that's part of where I went to is I'm the peacemaker among my friends, and there's a difference between being a peacemaker and a peacekeeper, right? And so you put yourself into that peacekeeper role and your job's never done.
That's
and
right.
so, I would always try and bring together different groups of people. And so I had a lot of relationships, but not a lot of them were deep. They were more, surface isn't even the right word. It's like when I was giving of myself, they were there.
Right.
But if I kind of stopped being that role,
Bye.
those relationships went away, right?
Yes.
Right. It's like,
I understand.
Yeah.
yeah,
That is
you're not doing for me anymore. Okay, well, I'll go find somebody else.
Right.
And so there was.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say there was that aspect of it, but and then in marriage and with my kids, again, it was that solid foundation was there, but when the hard things in life happened, everybody looked to me.
Yeah.
And so you teach people how to treat you.
Absolutely.
And so again, that emotional intelligence of I have to step up, I can't quit, I have to persevere. It's the bring it, right? It's like life, you're going to throw me something, bring it, I'll meet you head on. And you do that over and over and over, and you start getting, a bloodied head, and you start feeling battered. And, looking back, so much of that was self-inflicted.
Of course. 100%.
Yeah.
And that's not always fun to admit to either.
No. Well, like you said, you create your own reality. So because you had those, just as I and Judy has hers and my mom has, as we've created those unconscious things that we've learned from this inheritance, then we are out there just hamsters on the wheel, creating the same thing over and over. And that's why it's so tiring until you bring light to it. And you're like, wait a minute, what am I inheriting? What am I doing?
What am I doing?
What is this about? And then you do the discovery part.
And that discovery is quite a deep dive.
Yeah.
Isn't it though?
Oh yeah. And it doesn't stop.
No,
it really doesn't stop.
And that's where we're going to really talk about that too. And what my mom experienced recently, which was interesting. As you go and you evolve more, there's more to discover.
Yeah.
Yes.
And intuitively, I must have known that there was something. and it resided in my body, but I still wasn't sure. And I know it's everything resides in your body energetically. I know that. But I worked through a year after year, and I'm thinking, what else do I need to do? And then I prayed and asked God, and then somebody that we interviewed for our show in August,
July,
late
August.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I was listening to her and everything made sense. What?
No, and I knew that she was so in tune with my mom because the minute we got on the phone, she was right with my mom. I couldn't have,
Wow.
could have not have been there, and it was okay because I knew she needed whatever this woman was giving her. And that's how it all evolved.
And I just set up a time with her.
She
and
did
it was like a
session.
session.
She's a intuitive.
She has so many degrees.
She's a psychologist, a psychiatrist. I don't know. She has all these different modalities, but she goes back to the lineager, back to ancient,
because she's got something
inheritance, like ancestry. Almost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where
the generations.
Yes.
And she said she saw something, and
7 generations
back. And so I figured, sounds right. And I had a session with her, and when you think you work through things, and I swear to you, I really did. And then she went into this whole process with me, and it was my mother, which shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah, because in her mind, and I know you shared it, she's complete with her mom. She coached her mom, as she mentioned to you. She was close, and then boom.
And I sobbed. I mean, I couldn't control it. I just let it go.
What a release.
It really was a cathartic
and
release.
Then after this all happened, I was not near her, did not know what, and blah. And because we're so connected and I'm energetic, I do massage therapy, as you guys know, and I'm all about that. And I said, I don't know, but whatever you did, thank you, because I felt it. I really felt the total disconnect from the generations. And I felt I was released.
Right.
I really, and it's mind blowing to me because I didn't have any knowing of what was going on, but I knew it was released because I felt it right away. I kept thanking her. I'm like, thank you.
She really did. I mean, she really did. And it was like, I was always, out of 3 girls, I was always the one who painted my mother's nail, her toes, her hair color. And then
you blew her hair.
And she said something to me. Was it because you loved her, or were you obligated to her? So my first reaction was, no, I loved her. And then I thought about it, and I thought, wait a minute, nobody else would do it, so it was an obligation to me for her. And it was just an unconcealing of so much, and a release that I haven't stopped going to the bathroom. That's the truth.
It does that.
Really
truly.
Does. And it was all the stuff she was carrying in her stomach.
Yeah.
So it makes
solar plexus.
The solar plexus.
Yeah.
I have a lot more to go, but I'm just saying it's really interesting.
So we're talking about this topic, and I'm like, wow, you got to share this one.
Yeah.
And then of course I see, there's a part of me that feels obligated.
Yeah,
right?
She does.
So it's perfect because now there's a release.
Yes.
That if I feel like I want to do it, I will. And if I don't, I feel very comfortable saying, you know what, Mom, I'm not in the mood to do that. Can you take care of it?
Yeah.
And we have enough of an open relationship where, but I didn't even know that. You get what I'm saying? So the generation was totally released.
And I broke the chain because I had to go back 7 generations.
Yes.
And they thanked me, or I thanked them, because I healed those generations. They were basically waiting for me.
Yeah, she saw them waiting for her.
She saw them waiting for me.
It was
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Well, I have to share something real quick. Is that you said change. It was like with my family, my father was like my mentor. And I found he was the same for my daughter. And our strengths we found really came from him in striving and achieving and how to present yourself. Came from that side. Whereas the other side, my maternal side, my mother's side, I could show my emotions to her, but it was like she wasn't a business person. I guess the best way I can explain it. My dad was. I became a business person, and there's such a difference in the way you are and what you do and your mindset.
Mhm.
And my mother wasn't quite in touch until much later on, when my father became elderly and was being sick and would have to take over things. Then I
Yeah.
saw the change in her and how she got involved with the community herself. But was
Wow.
it shared something as a kid growing up? It was never pointed out, all these different things that you're sharing with today. Those things were never addressed in our family.
No,
No,
I hear you. Believe me.
totally.
It is
Yeah.
so true. And it's just such a wonderful thing to have the awareness that something you just are being pulled toward to trust.
Intuitively.
And
Trust is huge.
yeah, trust.
But
is-
I knew the minute we got on the call with this woman, it was like a moth to a flame. I couldn't have been there, and it was just it was an energetic connect.
yeah.
Divine
So-
appointment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
divine. We're like, thank you. I'm like, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
So you never
You
know
never know.
what's around the corner. It's always just
Yeah.
staying wide open to
Yeah.
what the universe, God,
Yeah.
whatever you believe in, has in store for you next. But I think the most important thing that I see is being really open. And I could say I was open before, and I'm open to a whole nother level. So
Yeah, there's
I
a
think
big
it's just part
shift.
of evolving
Yeah.
yourself to go to the next
Yeah,
level.
good.
Yeah, it
Good.
really is.
Well, it's great that everybody is willing to. I mean, when
Yeah.
you have people who aren't willing, because like on my father's side, I'm not changing. There was no willingness to
Right.
adapt.
That's
or
really
anything.
true.
It was just
That's
so
good, Judy.
structured and so stiff-like, in
Yeah.
comparison to the way we are today.
Totally agree. 100%. Wow.
Are your parents alive? Either one?
My
of you?
parents, mine passed, 15, 16 years ago, my father
Yeah.
and my mother within 2 years, but there was not a good relationship for the last 25, 30 years. We did
Mm.
not have a great relationship. We had isolation by their choice, and my effort and showing my children that you don't hold on to anger. You try to work things out and be friends if you can be.
Right.
Whereas it was, you're cut off. It was like, they said, forget the family. For example, my mother called me and said to me, you're not a member of the family. You're only related by blood.
Wow.
And it was demonstrated on a website where I do not exist in the family.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that is powerful. And you
Yeah.
have to look at who you are and recognize that they didn't know you. That's their way, but thank God I'm not like that. My kids aren't like that. So I broke the chain with my
Right.
kids getting angry, but they still have a relationship together.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
which is
That's
powerful
incredible.
for you,
Yeah.
Judy.
And Lisa, your parents alive?
No,
No, that my parents
that's
also
amazing.
passed probably same about the same time as Judy's, probably 15
Oh,
years
okay.
ago. Yeah,
Okay.
but both of my parents lived to 91. They had wonderful lives that I'm just impressed by them.
Yeah,
That's
that
You know,
is.
and another thought that I had, and I know we need to go to a break, is just the birth order impact on all of this. So that would be another piece of
It
it that
is.
we could look at.
Yeah, I love
birth
that.
order.
Birth
Oh,
order.
It is.
yes.
It is.
I
That is
heard that.
big.
I
That
heard
is-
that like 25 years ago, and I couldn't believe that there was even a factor, because I had an aunt used to say, well, I'm the middle child. I'm the middle child.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm the baby.
Yeah.
I'm the
there is-
youngest.
You're the youngest. It is. It's true. It is
It's
so
true.
true.
It's
It is.
true. Well, my God, this conversation could
It
keep
can
going.
go.
but-
Go.
We are going to go to a commercial break,
Yep.
and we will be back with some yummy nuggets. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
So good.
For
So
sharing
good.
so much.
Can't wait for the next one. Wow.
We're back. What a
That
great
was
topic. What a great.
Amazing.
These ladies are awesome.
They really are.
awesome.
So,
really,
so
we're so
grateful.
blessed
Yeah.
to have them.
So of course we're wrapping up. But
A
I'll
little
tell you,
nuggets.
we're gonna talk about the nuggets now. Emotional. I can't even talk. Emotional inheritance. It's like, whoa. Okay, so Roche, what's some of the action?
Some of the actions that I really received is that if you were to write down, I am safe for me to feel and blank. So I am safe to feel sadness. I am safe to feel
Joy. That's one action.
I'm safe to feel angry.
Mm,
I mean, that I think is a real big one too.
yeah.
People don't like to get angry.
Yeah. But it's important.
But it is.
It's
It really
important.
is.
Yeah.
It's safe for me to be sad and still be loved.
Mm. Now you could do this by writing it
Right?
in a journal.
Mm-hmm.
You could do this, mirror it. You can mirror it to yourself in the
Absolutely.
mirror. That's always powerful.
Absolutely.
Mirror work is we do
Yeah,
say
we
it a
love
lot here,
that.
but
We
it
do.
is powerful. So those are really good, some good,
Yeah,
you know,
they're-
golden nuggets we leave you with today. And start to look and you know, like and subscribe our channel. And
Yes.
we love to hear your comments. So comment on there
Yeah, we'd love
about
to hear that.
what you emotionally
Mhm.
inherited and what the show means to you.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. We really would.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Roche,
Yep, I'm
it's a wrap.
ready.
We sending you so much love.
Mwah.
In a world that's rushing, we slow it down, finding light where shadows surround. Heart to heart, where the truth is told.